Hi everyone, Grace Woji once again from Boji Farms. Today we want to talk about how to select good males for your farm, how to select good breeding females for your farm. Most of you farmers usually face challenges. You don't know how to select these. You don't know what basis or what should I base on when I'm selecting my female, or what should I base on when I'm selecting my males. And because of this kind of lack of knowledge, most of you have ended up with very bad females on your farms. Most of you have ended up with very lousy males on your farms. And by the way, when you pick a good male for your farm, it is the head of your farm. Basically, what you want in your farm is what you should look for in a male. I've looked at my females and I'm seeing my females are skinny. I would want muscles in my herd. So when you are looking for a male, please look for a male which has muscle, so that it can bring those kind of traits to your herd which is lacking muscles. When you are looking for males or females, there are certain characteristics you should always look out for. And today we are going to focus on that. So please follow me and we see these kind of characteristics I'm talking about in your different herds. Okay, now we are dealing with the males and how to select a good male for your farm. This is a pure Boer goat from South Africa. And why I considered it for my farm, because of its length. From the head to toe, it's almost taller than me. It is long. This kind of trait is the kind of trait I want to pass on from this goat to my babies that it's going to give birth, it's going to give us. That is one of the reasons it is long enough. Mujiraba mpamvu. It's almost a meter. And some, actually it's more than a meter and some other few units long, you can see. Then also from here up to the ground, it is long enough. This is the kind of trait every farmer should be looking for. It's going to give you a long goat. Why do we want a long goat? A long goat will be able to give birth to a baby that is long. So if a goat is long, it means it will add on muscle very fast because it has the frame to give you the muscle, to hold the muscle. A short goat will not give you that kind of muscles you want in a goat. It's long enough from the ground up to here, you can see. And then when you also look at the balls, I don't know if it will allow me hold its balls, men and their balls, it's not easy. They are not loosely hanging, which makes it a very good option for our breeding goat. So when you are looking for your males, please consider this. It's not, I'll show you balls of a loosely. But these balls are not long, not so long. They are not loosely hanging. They are tight, and also they are big enough. From here up to here, you can see they are big. This is roughly 2 centimeters. So don't look for males with small balls. That means it will give you females or kids that are funny. And also ensure that the balls are not separated. There is no line separating, like how I've seen with most Gala males. This is an excellent male for our breeding purposes. Lastly, when you look at the muscles behind, it is huge. And also you look at the front legs here. Mbuzi ine nyama gye twagala okuleeta okuteeka mu mbuzi zaffe. So bw'otunula mu mbuzi zo n'olaba nti embuzi zo ziraakinga ennyama, okoze buli kimu ekyetaagisa kigaanye. Bw'oba onoonya embuzi, totandika ate I want blood percentage babalimba. Noonya embuzi nga bw'ogitunulako ekusanyusa, bw'ekutunulako esikiriza, bw'ogitunulira ekigere, yiino embuzi ogiraba eggumidde yakolamu. This is what they call a good male. Yakolamu, it is huge. It has muscle. Okay, looking at the heads, you can see they are protruding outside, they are concave. that is a sign that it's going to be a very good male. So when you are looking out for a male, please avoid those males with heads that are folded inside. They are not protruding from outside, concave kind of shape. It is a good sign of a good male. There are those clients who come to us and they tell you, Madam, I need a male, but I don't need a male which is too much, it has too much blood of Muzungu. So this is an excellent example of a good young male. Why do we consider it a good male? It is still young actually, it's around 9 months old. But you can see the muscles it has. It is young, it's just 9 months old, it's young. And this is a crossbreed of a local goat and a pure Boer goat. But most of you will not believe it because it didn't bring out the full color brownie pattern of a pure Boer goat. But this is a cross of a pure Mubende goat and a pure Boer male. Why we consider it excellent for our breeding purposes and would gladly sell it to anybody? Because of the muscles it has. It's long enough, like I've explained before. The balls, they are tight and they are big enough at its edge. This tail, which shows it's going to be a very big male. A big male. The muscles, you can feel the muscles, they are big enough. And also one other magic of some of you have very good males, but the proportion, basically the ratio of males to females, you find one male having over 100 females to mate. That is not good. It means you are overworking your male. And also at this age, this male is 9 months old. It can mate, but we are not letting it mate with any female. Reason being, when they start to mate early enough, it can sire kids. When they start mating early enough, the muscles freeze, they become small because of working out when they are still young. Basically, equate it to the fact that just like you have a child at home, n'otandika omwetisa ekidomola ky'amazzi ng'akyali muto. Omwana oyo tagejja, takula, abeera awo nga mumpi. So embuzi eno buli n'etandika okulinnyira ng'ekyali nto, you are limiting its capacity to become a big goat in the future. So eno tetuzikiriza kulinnyira mbuzi nkazi kulinnyira, twagala esooke yeyongereko ekoleki egejje. Now if you are, this is the only male you have at your farm, make sure it mates with just a few females, like 4 females in 2 weeks. And also make sure you give it a special feeds, just like how a man is at home. A man is a man. Give him that special attention when he's at home because he uses a lot of energy to get the money. So the same way we treat our male goats. Jiwe keya esobole okuwa kyosubira. This is a young Savannah male goat and it's a pure one from South Africa. This is one of our latest additions to our farm. It is still young. It's not so long like the Boers I've showed you before, but what we liked about it, it has muscles eyina ennyama and omutwe guli oguli konkevu ogulaba eguyina, and then the muscles here, bannange genda kundya, the muscles, you can see the muscles, and also how you can tell that a goat is mating. It's already mating. You look at these legs here, the front legs, they are dirty from behind. So it is a sure deal. We are already having goats that have been mated with this male because of the dirty legs here. This is another male we have here at the farm, and it's up for sale. Why we didn't castrate it? It has the muscles. It presents as a good male. Basically, farmers, when you are looking for males, go to people's farms, look through their herds. Look for a male ekuba amaaso n'ogiraba nga nnene ng'ekuba amaaso. So oli kugamba nti no, eri nnume nga togiraba. Ennume eba yeeyogerera. This male, it's black. This is a cross of a Savannah and a Mubende goat. Naye yeeyogerera. it's going to be a huge male. Why? We are not looking at the blood percentage, by the way. This tail is already showing it's going to be a very big male. It's going to be a very big male. You can see the circumference here. It is all round. It's going to be a big male. It shows all characteristics that this male is going to be big. So if you're not looking for blood percentages, you have skinny goats, your babies are born being skinny, and you want a male that is going to add muscle to your herd, look for this kind of males. Muvemo blood percentage baba feda. Look for males that have muscle for your herds. This is an excellent male for a beginner farmer with a few females, like 20 females and below. You can start with this kind of male. This exhibits characteristics of not so a good male. It is bony, does not have any muscles. Number 2, when you look at its balls, I don't know if it's going to allow me to touch its balls. They are loosely hanging. Loosely hanging means chances of firing blanks during mating are very high because the sperms are coming from very far away. They are loosely hanging. This loosely hanging is not a good male. We missed this, we would have castrated this, but we didn't see it in the beginning. But we can't sell it to anybody for breeding purposes because this person shows that he's somebody that fires blanks. Why do we consider this a very bad male? One, it has no muscles. Mukalaba, it is very skinny. It also shows characteristics of being a female. Like I've told you, look for a male. When it is among many goats, you can easily identify that is a male without looking at its balls. So if you got this goat, the way it is positioned now, minus looking at the balls, you may think it is a female. So don't go for this kind of goats. It is skinny, it is short, that even if you give it, you feed it and give it the best of supplements, adding on weight may be a tug of war. You wouldn't want to put this camel among your good females to mate because obviously it will give you the sperms and give birth to kids, but the traits it's passing on, it's going to pass on the skinny nature of its body to the kids it's going to birth. It is also short, it's not long enough. So when you are looking for males, please look for something that pleases your eyes, that is good to look at. This is a cross of a boa and a local goat. We consider it a good breeding goat or a good mother because of some of these characteristics. Number 1, when you look at its length from the head to the tail, it's long enough, it's not short, which means it can carry the kid or the baby to full term without any issues. That is number 1. The other point is it has muscles. It's a big goat. This has birthed, I think this is going to be its 3rd birth, and it has gained a lot of muscles, which means it passes on the same traits of the muscles to the babies it's going to give birth to. So it would make more sense if you have a male with the same traits and you mate it with this, you'll get an excellent offspring from this kind of union. The other point here, the hind quarters of this goat, they are huge. The pelvic bones are huge. They are wide enough. It fears to be touched, but at least you have seen. They are wide enough. Why would we consider why they are wide? Number 1, it can be able to push out a baby without any assistance because the pelvic bones are wide enough. Just like in women, a woman who is short and a woman who does not have huge hips, usually giving birth, is always challenging for them. The same way it is with our goat mothers. On that same note, when you look at the nipples are small. They are 2 in number, and when I press, there is some liquid coming through, which means they are not blocked. So they are very excellent. This is one of our excellent mothers, and we have selected them over a period of time. This selection does not come in one day. It comes after a long time, after observing your herd and seeing exactly what it can give you. That even if it gives me one baby, I'm 100% sure, unless other infections come into play, but I'm 100% sure it will nurse its baby to full term, or it will grow its baby up to the 3 months, when up to the time they are supposed to be weaned off. This is a local goat, Eke Mubende goat, black and white. It is also among the selected mothers that we use for our breeding capacity here at the farm. Why do we still consider this the one of our best mothers? Number one, I have told you before, it has the muscles. Number two, it's long enough. Number three, when you look at the height from the ground up to where the stomach is, it means it's long enough, it is not short. So being long, it means the goat will have enough room to grow its baby, but also share some of the traits it has of being long to the kids. Why do we want a kid which is long, or a mother which is long? Number one, the longer a goat is, it means it will add on more muscle. But if a goat is short, it means it's stout. Giving birth will be hard. When it is in its last trimester, when it is short, moving around, I'll show you equally a short goat how it looks like. Moving around will be hard. Usually if a goat is short, and during those bad times when it's like the rainy season and the fields are flooded, or the fields are not habitable enough, the nipples always are moving closer to the grass, which is not good. And they always take in, if it is breastfeeding by that time, the baby takes in a lot of dirty stuff from the nipples of the mother because of the nipples moving closer to the ground. And it also has very excellent nipples. They are not big, they are just small enough for the baby to suckle on. Now, this is one of our Mubende mother. It's a young one. It is close to 8 months. It's not as big as the previous goats. I've told you, the more a goat gives birth, the more it expands. This one has not given birth. But in my view, I consider it one of our would-be best mothers. Why? Number one, the shape of its body is round. You can see it is round. It has an excellent coat. It's not sickly. When you look at it from behind, the muscles are developing. And also how you can tell that a goat is going to be a fat goat in future. When you look at this from this side up to this side, usually this tail is always huge. It is wide enough. Being wide enough, this is one of the way you can tell that this goat is going to be fat in future. So this is one of the mothers we usually sell off to farmers because they are birthing for the first time. So if I sold you this goat, just know it's going to be a good mother. You can see also the nipples are small, they are not huge, they are not thick, and they are all upright, which means it will have excellent at breastfeeding because of this kind of nipples. They are not so big, a kid can easily suckle on them. This goat here has the best kind of muscles. It has the good height. The feet are right standing. It has, when you look at the height from the ground, it is ample, it's ample enough. But the only challenge this goat has, the nipples are big. Nipples being big, it means a baby will not be able to suckle on these kind of what? Nipples. I'm not saying discard away your goats with big nipples, but it is quite challenging, especially if you have many mothers birthing at the same time. So when it faces this kind of challenges, some of the kids risk to starve because they cannot suckle. Or if it has given birth to 2 kids, they may end up suckling 1 nipple because it's what they can afford to have in their mouth, which is not good. So in such a scenario, if you see the goat is good and you don't want to sell it off, it would be best that every time it gives birth, the boys hold it and the mother and the babies suckle. Eventually, when the babies all learn how to suckle both the nipples, they usually reduce in what? In size. Because now this is too much milk in the nipples and the babies cannot have this kind of big nipple in their mouth. So it would be best in the first few or the first 1 month, the boys hold this and then they assist the kids to suckle. So this, in one way or the other, is not a good mother, especially if you have many goats you're supposed to handle. You know how handling human resource at the farm is. They may do it for the first 1 week, but the second week they may fail and you find the babies starving. So dear farmers, take note of this. I've been telling you about the wide tail. This is a very clear example of a tail which is wide. This is a sign that this goat is going to be very big. It has given birth once, so we are anticipating the second birth. But this tail being huge, the width from here up to here, it is wide enough. This is a characteristic that this goat is going to be enough. This is not written anywhere in any book, but I learned this with my dealings with the different brokers in my village. They tell you, Madam yembuze genda kubeera nene, omukira gwayo tunulira omukira gwayo gulaba mugazi. Bwe gubeera mugazi, just observe this among your goats. Bwe zibeera n'emikira emigazi ezisinga zibeera ki? Mbuzi nga z'amaanyi ddala, ziba zijja kula zigejje, zisukke naawe zikolera ki? Zikunyumire. So here, this goat, we are not going to let any male mate it even if it goes on heat. We consider its kind of body shape it is in now. It is not good for it to carry a baby to full term in its what? In its stomach. We consider it not a good mother or in a good state. Looking at its coat, it clearly shows either it is anemic. So carrying a baby to full term would require a mother with a lot of blood in its what? In its mother with a lot of blood in its body. But this goat is anemic. Also looking at its behind quarters, it is bony here. You can see it has a lot of bones. It has a lot of, it's bony. The hips are not there. They are small but in nature. So I wouldn't let this be mated by any of my males. We just isolate them in the quarantine. We feed them. We give them enough supplements. It needs a protein supplement. It needs blood in its body so that we consider it for our breeding season next time. But this season we are exempting it because when you insist and take a goat like this one to be mated, chances are high it will have a miscarriage because it does not have the necessary body nutrients for it to carry the baby to full term. So this is for now is a bad mother for our breeding season. This goat is not sick, but from the look of things, when you look at its head, it looks like a cross of a Sudani goat and a local goat. This was not born from our farm. I bought it from a neighbor's farm. So chances are high it could be having blood of a Sudani goat. Thus, the reason as to why it is this bony. Embuzi z'amata ezisinga zibeera bony. Kati eno eri bony nnyo, so it would be bad for us to get our ginger tick males and let them mate with this kind of kaboni goat. It is ka small, kawanvu, okalaba it is long enough from the ground, it can carry a baby to full term, but it is not our kind of female who would give our males to mate. because of its bodiness, and also the fact that we are here strictly breeding local goats and Boer goats, and this is a Saanen goat, kind of, it has Saanen blood. You can even look at the ears, how pale they are, which is a pure characteristic of a Saanen goat, plus the pointed kind of nose and a small head. This is a characteristic of a Saanen goat, which doesn't make it for us as people who purely want to breed Mubende and Boer goats. This is where some of you make mistakes. You find somebody crossing or mixing meat goats and dairy goats. When you mix dairy goats and meat goats, the outcome is not always good, unless your objective is strictly for dairy, basically having milk from them. But if it is for meat, this was a wrong choice for us. I hope today you have learned something on how to select a good female and a good male for your farms, your respective farms. Please don't forget to leave us a comment and tell us how you have been able to go about this. It is a learning curve. We are all learning from each other. Give us that comment. We want it. Thank you.